Hello, Creative Assembly. My name is Sky, and I'm watching the first videos I made, and I realized, and after a while, I just kind of start not making sense at all. And I realized that part is because there's just so many things. I'm not sure what I've said, what I haven't said. So I'm going to probably rehash some ideas, but also further explain, better explain some ideas. So firstly, I'm thinking that time frame wise, like if you had like a Rome 2, what you could do is uh, take the time back to, what the Naked Archaeologist, that one guy who says that uh, the there's basically a confluence of events after the eruption of what is essentially Atlantis, in the Mediterranean, or in Greece. And because of that, it wiped out the old Minoan civilization, which is Troy and Achilles and that a lot. But and it triggered the migration of the Jews out of Egypt, and then the establishment of the Philistines, who are basically transplant Greeks, which is apparently happened all over the place. So it's just very interesting idea that you see that just population basically is forced to migrate because of circumstances. So it'd be very interesting if you could even per se have that as a scenario, eruption of that island in Greece. Um, and it's the current island of Santorini. I forget the previous other or the other names for it, but basically, what if you had that? You had basically all these civilizations existing around the map of Europe, in little pockets, represented like here, and the eruption happens. So now things just radically change in one way or another. But basically, the player's in in game mode now, and so people are going to go from these little small establishments to something big because the climatic events have had a dramatic effect. So this is also why I think weather would be a really great gameplay element. And so you can imagine as you look out or as you move across the map, some areas would they would have that cloud, but it'd be more of a light haze that you could look through. But basically, it would cover an area, and so as a result, any movement in that area is reduced because of the rainfall. Um, and and then if you have that to snow, uh, movement of your troops through snow could lead to fatalities. Um, so that's something else I'm thinking about, or I'm thinking, hey, it would be pretty good element to add to the gameplay. But anyways, so time frame wise, I know it's just crazy idea of like that's when you can set it. But hey, when was Rome forming up, taking place? And but actually that's a lot later. So I don't know, just interesting idea where you can take it. So let's get back to why I have all of you here today. The um, the way I'm looking at the map is essentially a population is going to be plopped right anywhere. They can exist for whatever reason. They can have whatever background. And essentially, what's going on with this population? Well, they live around a religious shrine of some sort, or religious significance. I'm thinking, because I don't know, it makes sense to me that whatever population exists here is going to have some sort of religious background, um, and or that's the reason why the settlement exists there. And then, of course, you're going to have a natural water source. Um, and I'm always of the opinion that you're going to have resources and food, readily available. Um, and then depending on how advanced the civilization is, they know how to irrigate the land, or they know how to harness the power of the water in the land to grow food for themselves. So if this was Egypt, the Nile, this represents the pyramids. This represents the forests. This represents the farming and other agricultural industries, and this represents the irrigation and the harnessing of the land. So the Egyptians just got a heck of a lot of things going on, and of course the Egyptians got their military. Lastly, one other thing is I don't like I really don't like the idea that if it's a port city, there's a fishing village with which is the port, and I don't like it anymore. I think if it's a port city, you're basing the city on, have the port connected, because it just makes a lot more sense that way, in my opinion. But now that I think about it, talking about Egypt would be a good way to begin where I am trying to describe. So, what's going on in Egypt? Well, in Egypt, there's a whole mess of people. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. And let's see. And part of it is that, or part of that, is this long-running tradition and history and all sorts of whatever is going on. Well, the Egyptians who, well, man, that just, because I have to relocate them down here, because this would be the Delta, and the thing is, the Delta they really couldn't use. That further explains my idea. I really got to think these things through a little bit better, but it's very hard for me to explain. Anyways, time to end the video.